What if I told you your man might be the reason you keep getting recurrent BV?
Oh, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
Men love to blame us for everything, but your fishy coochie might be a him problem. A new study just dropped and confirmed that BV can actually be sexually transmitted. And you know what? Creators like Roxanne Ramsey and Pretty with Lee have been saying this. Roxanne Ramsey has been like the spokesperson for BV on TikTok. From the beginning, she shared how her doctors didn't believe her, that the reoccurrent BV she was getting for 6 years was because of sex. She ultimately went to a specialist who, validated her suspicions. And now we have this whole new study that validates that. Thank God science finally decided to listen to us and our experiences versus just blaming and shaming women and letting men avoid any accountability. But it's not always sexually transmitted, so let's break it down before you freak out. And I'll give you my 2 cents on why this study is good news and also why it is potentially very bad news. Bacterial vaginosis, or BV, happens when the natural bacteria in our vaginas gets off balance. The most common indicator and symptoms of BV are that classic fishy odor, itching, and watery discharge. And so many women feel shame or embarrassment when they get it, but it's actually super common. 1 in 3 women will experience BV in their lifetime. So the itch and the fish and the shame is a shared experience that many of us have or will have in girlhood. Many things can cause BV, including hormonal changes. Pregnancy, puberty, menopause, even IUD insertion can throw the pH off balance. So yes, BV does occur in women who aren't even sexually active. Even scented products can throw off your pH, leading to BV and essentially making your smell worse. And don't buy more scented products to cover up the smell, because then that just continues the cycle. If you want to hear more about coochie smells and what they mean, you can check out this video here. Also, over cleaning the area, douching the area can lead to BV. And if your man isn't cleaning himself properly, his bacteria can disrupt your pH, which is really not fair because every woman I know is a clean, beautiful princess and every man I know has never washed his asshole before. So don't let anyone tell you that you got BV because you're dirty. We have a sensitive microbiome down there, and sometimes it just happens. Those are the most common ways BV is acquired, but we do know that having sex increases your risk of getting BV and reoccurring BV. Doctors have assumed that this flora disruption is from vaginal irritation via friction, condoms, lube, other things that are potential irritants and that can lead to BV, which is all true, but neglected to understand this one thing that this study goes into more detail about. This new study published in the New England Journal of Medicine, done by some very smart people at the Melbourne Sexual Health Center, looked at 164 heterosexual couples where the woman had BV. They found that when both partners were treated for the BV, the reoccurrence rate was way lower. 35% versus a whopping 65% when the woman was only treated. This means that reoccurring BV in particular might not always often just be a random imbalance from a soap or weird underwear. It could mean that you're getting it from your man.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Now, it has been known that if you're a woman, that you can pass BV to your other lady partner. That's because, let's just say you used a scented product, it offset your pH, you were then intimate with your lady bits bacteria infiltrating your lady's lady bits bacteria can disrupt the lady bits bacteria of your lady. Not as confusing as I made it seem, but basically, in the past, doctors have only noted women as the carriers and passers of the bacteria that causes BV. But now in this study, the bacteria that causes BV was also prominent on the males of the partners who had BV, present on the urethra and the penile skin, meaning men can carry around the bacteria as well and pass it along to other women or continue to reinfect their current partner.
Wait, stop the motherfucking music.
Okay, so picture this. A girl, she's going through hell. She's trying to take care of herself in the best way possible. She's cleaning, but doesn't realize that this soap is offsetting her pH. She gets treatment for BV, treats it, cures it, but somehow keeps getting it, despite changing her diet, despite wearing clean underwear, despite using a soap that doesn't bother her. Well, these studies show that she could keep getting it because her partner keeps reinfecting her. Yeah, we're still blaming it all on the woman and her choices and the things that she's doing. This research is still new, but it's huge for anyone suffering from chronic BV. And perhaps it's comforting to know that it's not all your fault. You're not dirty. You're not cheating on your man, and your man's not cheating on you. At least I think. But getting BV isn't going to be an indicator of cheating. Though, because the male can be a carrier if he's with the girl who has it and then brings it to you. But we don't have to assume anyone's getting cheated on anyone. That's a very slippery slope. You just could be getting reinfected. And no more blaming vaginas for something men could just be passing back to us. While this is major news for women's health, here's where I have a problem. Just because it's recognized that it could be sexually transmitted doesn't mean that's how the woman got it in the first place. And if it gets reclassified as an STI, this could fuel the outdated belief that women's vaginas are dirty or diseased if they're sexually active or have multiple partners. This will put even more pressure on women to feel ashamed of something that's already common and mostly out of their control. Because classifying it as an STI also ignores causes from hormonal changes, douching and scented products, wearing unbreathable or tight underwear, and even something as simple as switching soap. And even before this study came out and we knew that the offset pH is the reason why women were getting BV, people were still blaming it on women just being promiscuous. One of the roommates I had in college got BV one time. She went on a date with this guy, but told him that she couldn't hook up with him because she had BV. She cried because she was so embarrassed about it. And instead of him being understanding and willing to wait until it all cleared up, he made her feel so bad about it. He called her a whore, said she had an STD and that she was dirty. And she was like, I just douched with Summer's Eve and now I'm a whore? So reclassifying it as an STI isn't going to be a very good setup when it comes to stigma and how society treats sexually active women. And even though this study suggests that men might be passing BV back and forth to their partners, historically, STI stigma always falls harder on the woman. And if BV gets classified as an STI, there's a real risk that doctors will start treating it as a promiscuity problem instead of a medical condition. Women could be shamed for not being careful enough instead of partners being encouraged to take responsibility for their own hygiene.
Because yes, your man's pee-pee cheese could be affecting your pH balance as well.
And men could get a free pass. And let's be honest, they already do. I'm also worried that reclassifying it as an STI could limit access to treatment. Right now, BV treatment's pretty straightforward. You go to the doctor, you get antibiotics, you're good to go. But if it becomes an STI, this might mean more barriers for getting treatment, longer conversations, more judgment, more stigma, more unnecessary fear around sex, especially for women who already struggle with shame around their bodies, and even insurance or policy changes, making it harder for some women to get treated. Regardless of how it gets classified in the future, I don't want to be going off on its, ands, ors, or buts. The place you can always get discreet, shame-free treatment is WISP. You can get treatment on your terms without stigma and free delivery, all from the comfort of your home. So that's something to consider if you're experiencing a barrier for treatment for your BV. I have a discount for that if you want to check it out. I've used it numerous times for UTIs, yeast infections. It's really a great resource. Check it out in the description. When it comes to prevention and maintenance of your BV symptoms, you can look at the more common factors like your underwear and your soap. Cherry undies are a godsend when it comes to vaginal health. They are undies that are made with wide gussets, so they fit your lips, no more pinching and irritation. They're breathable cotton underwear, therefore the best underwear for discharge, no more swamp coochie, and they're designed for real bodies, so it's an underwear your vagina is going to love. Discount, obviously, in the description. Love them. For soap, clean only the outside, nothing on the inside, with a coochie-friendly soap like the body washes from Sweet Spot Labs. It's a good soap if you have recurrent BV because it's not going to disrupt your pH. A sudden switch of soaps can cause an imbalance, so make sure that you're using a soap that works best for your body. These ones from Sweet Spot Labs are vulva approved, but choose something that works best for you. And of course, obviously, I have a discount for that in the description. Lubes and condoms that are irritating you could lead to BV. I'm not saying don't use condom. As you can see from this study, you are way more likely to get BV if you aren't using one. But make sure you're using one that isn't bothering you. And that'll be different for everyone. Like maybe latex is irritating you, so you don't use latex. And maybe the lube you're using isn't the vibe. I'm very sensitive down there, so I like to use Wisp's harmonizing lube. I haven't had any problems with this lube. And obviously, I have a discount for that as well in the description. But if you're trying all of those things, switching out your underwear, eating healthy, less processed foods, drinking more water, using a better soap, not using all of those extra products that you don't need down there, and even using, different lubes or condom, and you're still getting recurrent BV, it might be something that your partner has to address. and talk to your doctor about treatment for the both of you. Overall, when it comes to BV potentially being an STI, my solution is instead of rushing to label BV as an STI, we should focus on educating people, especially men, about BV so they understand their role in preventing it, especially if they have multiple partners and potentially are passing it to and fro. Destigmatizing vaginal health because women shouldn't be shamed for their biology. Like I said, this is something that can still happen, like sex or not. And pushing for better treatment. Ones that address the root cause, like potentially treating both partners instead of just blaming women for it. Women deserve to feel normal about their bodies. Period. You are not dirty. You are not reckless. You are not to blame. You're just a human with a vagina that deserves proper care. So advocate for yourself and never let stigma get in the way of getting the care that you deserve and need. The links and discounts for my product recommendations are in the description if you'd like to check them out. They could definitely help you if you struggle with recurrent BV. And I want to know, have you ever struggled with bacterial vaginosis? Many people have it and don't realize it. They just think the smell is normal. Drop your experiences in the comments and let's normalize this conversation. And don't forget to subscribe for more coochie-related content.